Boker Tov, good morning, Boker Ol. It's wonderful to be here with you on this lovely Torah day, this lovely Monday morning in the later days of Tammuz. Thank you so much for taking the time to join us. Please do take a word or two, take time to share a word of greeting to one another. It's wonderful to be here together today and to see each of you and all of you. Good morning, Sean and Barb and Lorne. Good morning to everyone as we gather here to say Boker Tov. Welcome to Boker Tov from Temple Sinai. Temple Sinai Congregation of Toronto's daily opportunity to connect, to reflect, and to remember. I'm Rabbi Michael Dolgan, and it's a pleasure and an honor to be here with you on this beautiful morning to learn from and with our Torah portion for today. And good morning, Alan and Sulang and Seymour and Franklin and each of us. It's very beautiful to be here together. Linda, wonderful to have you here together with us this morning, and Deborah. And so let us begin our day as we do each day with gratitude. Let's recite the English of this prayer, and we'll recite the prayer for the soul in Hebrew and English, helping us just like the neshama is the divine breath, helping us just let out and let in the next big breath. Please join me. Blessed eternal God, creator of the universe, you have fashioned our bodies with wisdom, creating within us a finely balanced network. To stand before you in prayer is itself a fragile miracle. Eternal God, we praise you as the healer of body and spirit. And remember, when there's a dot in a hey at the end of the word, call them a peak just to let all the breath out. Eloi neshama shenatata bi Torah hi, אתה בראתה, אתה יצרת, אתה נפחת בי ואתה משמרה בקרבי. כל זמן שהנשמה בקרבי, מודה אני לפניך. אדוני אלוהי ואלוהי אבותיי, ריבון כל המעשים, אדון כל הנשמות. ברוך אתה, אדוני, אשר בידו נפש כל חי, ורוח כל בשר איש. The soul that you have given me, O God, is a pure one. You have created and formed it, breathed it into me, and within me you sustain it. So long as my soul is within me, I will give thanks to you, eternal my God and God of my ancestors, source of all creation, sovereign of all souls. We praise you, eternal God, in whose hand is the power of all life and the spirit of all flesh. And please join me, La Sok B'divrei Torah, on this beautiful day of Torah, on this Monday, to celebrate our commitment to Torah, because meaning is found through commitment. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu la'asok b'divrei Torah. וערב נא אדוני אלוהינו את דברי תורתך בפינו ובפי עמך בית ישראל, ונהיה אנחנו וצאצאינו וצאצאי עמך בית ישראל, כולנו יודעי שמך ולומדי תורתך לשמה. ברוך אתה אדוני, המלמד תורה לעמו ישראל. אלו דברים שאין להם שיעור. These are the obligations whose value cannot be measured. They nourish us in this world and help us to create the world to come. Kibud Avayim, to honor fathers and mothers. Ugmilut Chasadim, to perform acts of love and kindness. Vashkamat Beit HaMidrash Shacharit V'Aravit, to attend the house of study morning and evening. V'Achnasat Ochim, to welcome the stranger. Uvikul Cholim, to visit the sick. V'Achnasat Kala, to provide for brides and grooms. Ulvayat Hamet, to keep faith with the dead. V'Yun Tfilah, to pray with sincerity. V'Hava'at Shalom Ben Adam L'Chavero, to make peace when there is strife. V'Talmud Torah Keneged Kulam, and the study of Torah is equal to them all. Well, let's join together today in Psalm 23, a psalm that is peaceful and beautiful, but also mentions the valley of the shadow. Life is a compilation, a tension between those two. But it's also Mizmor David, a psalm of David, who, according to the stories in the Tanakh, was taken from the fields and anointed king, and then before serving as king, sent back to be a shepherd in the field. And when life moves us among the different roles that we might play or are going to play, it does give us a different and deeper perspective. And I hope we can seek that out even as we share these words, the words of Baruch She'amar and then Psalm 23. Baruch she'amar v'haya ha'olam. Blessed is the one who speaks that we might listen. Blessed is the one who acts that we might be witnesses. Baruch hu u'baruch shemo. Blessed is the one who decides that we might accept. Blessed is the one who has mercy that we might live. Baruch she'amar v'haya ha'olam. Blessed is the one who removes the darkness that we might see. Blessed is the one who lives forever that we might believe. Blessed is the one who saves and delivers that we might be redeemed. And so let's continue, as we said, with Mizmor LeDavid, to think about, as I am today, the different roles and the different places life puts us in and how each one can and will and must help inform the other. With the Eternal as my shepherd, I shall want for nothing. I will lie down in a beautiful pasture. As I am led along restful waters, my soul will be restored. I will be guided along the paths of righteousness, serving God's higher purpose. Adonai roi lo echsa. Even when I must walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I fear no evil when you are with me. Your strength and your support comfort me. When facing my enemies, your protection stretches out before me, sustaining mind and body. Adonai roi lo echsa. Only goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I will live in God's presence for the rest of my days. And let's continue joining together in Shema Yisrael, and it being a Torah day, we'll chant the last paragraph of the Shema as well. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem Kavod Malchuto Leolam Vaed. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודך. והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך, ודיברת בם, בשבתך בביתך, ובלכתך בדרך, ובשוכבך ובקומך. וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך. ויאמר אדוני אל משה לאמור, דבר אל בני ישראל, ואמרת עליהם, ויעשו להם ציצית, על כנפי בגדיהם לדורותם, ונענו על ציצית הכנף בטיל תכלת, והיה להם לציצית, וראיתם אותו, וזכרתם את כל מצוות אדוני, ועשיתם אותם, ולא תטו אחרי לבבכם, ואחרי עיניכם, אשר אתם זונים אחריהם. למען תזכרו, ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני, אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני, Adonai Elohechem, Adonai Elohechem, Emet. Well, chanting isn't the only thing that reminds us that today is a day for the reading of Torah. It's also a time for us to have a look at our parasha, at part of Parashat Matot Maseh. We have a double parasha this week, the last two parashiot in the book of Numbers, as this part of the Torah portion lines up with this period of life in Judaism, known as the 3 weeks leading up to Tisha B'Av, and the various Torah portions are lined up so that the certain portions and certain haftarot are read on certain days. But I want to look at part of Parashat Matot today, specifically for a couple of reasons. On the one hand, it reminds me there's always a message for today. And in our Torah portion this week, as we get to the end of Bamidbar, it's really the end of the narrative part of the Torah. And so the people are getting ready to enter into the land of Israel, the new generation, who will say goodbye to Moses and be led by Joshua into the land. But they're going to conquer the land, not just to go into it. And 2.5 tribes of the 12, really 13 tribes, if we count the Levites, 2.5 of the tribes, they are mentioned that they would like their land not to be in the land of Israel, but on the east side of the Jordan, because it's good land for grazing for their animals, and that is what they have, is to have animals to graze. And Moses is shocked, and he says, "What, are you going to let your brothers fight while you stay here?" And the answer that they give is found in Numbers chapter 32, verse 16. Vayigshu elav, it says they stepped up, they approached Moses, and said, "We will build here on the east side of the Jordan sheepfolds for our flocks and towns for our children. And us, we will go first. We will be the ones who go first as shock troops in the van of the Israelites." Meaning, not that they're taking a van, the English language is so strange here, meaning we will break forth and be the first ones in front of the people of Israel until we have established them in their home, while our children stay in these fortified towns. And we will not return to our homes until every Israelite, every one of them, has been given their portion, is in possession of their portion. Lo nashuv al betenu, we won't return to our homes, ad hitnachel b'nei Yisrael ish nachalato, until each one of them has made their way back. It's a reminder that even in the Torah, our people had different abilities and different interests, different needs, and they addressed them while at the same time saying, even if our needs are different than yours, other part of the people of Israel, we will step forward for you. The people of Israel in the world today are really divided, if you will, in three. The Jews of Israel, the Jews of North America, and the Jews that spread throughout the rest of the world. And each of us has a different reality and a different need. And it is our obligation, as it has been since the earliest times, for each of those elements to see and respect and appreciate the other, especially when we see that in actions, not words, each of us is stepping forward for the other. And we need to continue to step forward here and do that for Jews in smaller communities throughout the world who are exposed even more to anti-Semitism than we are, to Israelis who must continue to fight a fight against intractable terrorist Hamas. And they need to be there for us too, as we build our lives and build our identity and stand with and for our Jewish reality. Certainly, when it comes to the hostages, it echoes differently to read verse 18. We will not return to our homes until each of them is effectively back home. That either all of us have a home or none of us. And so we continue to fight for that in ways that are direct and clear, but also ways that are symbolic. I wanted to share this Torah portion because I read this Torah portion from a Torah scroll in 1980. as the first portion that I read from Torah after my bar mitzvah. My bar mitzvah portion was Parashat Noach. Uh, and then in the summer of 1980, when attending a Jewish learning program, an intensive program, this was the next Torah portion that I learned, is beginning right here at verse 16. And so I hope we can, in addition to continue stepping forward in an activist way, in a symbolic way, in a meaningful way, in a vocal way, I hope we can also continue to step up to Torah, continue to make Torah our language and our possession, and do so with and for others, so that Torah will be vital as we hand it on beyond this time to those for whom we are building a land. So there are so many that we think of in the context of this Torah portion, including when it talks about those who must go forward and fight and do what is difficult. We think of the members of the IDF. The political echelon is its own complexity. And yet those who fight, saw another article this morning about how it's so difficult on Israelis who continue to serve again and again in reserve duty and are understandably doing less so. And so our hearts are with each IDF soldier and each IDF family during this seemingly endless war and this time of suffering and loss for so many. So please join me in our prayer for the soldiers of the IDF and that their acts might lead to a better time. מי שברך אבותינו אברהם יצחק ויעקב ואמותינו שרה רבקה לאה ורחל, הוא יברך את חיילי צבא ההגנה לישראל ושאר מגיני עמנו העומדים על משמרתם. May the one who blessed our ancestors bless the soldiers of the Israel Defense Forces and all who stand on guard for us. May the Holy One guard them against all difficulty and distress, injury, and illness. May all of their actions bring blessing, fulfilling the prophet's words. Let them beat their swords into plowshares and their spears into pruning hooks. Let nation not lift up sword against nation, and may they learn war no more. May all sit under a vine or fig tree, with none to make them afraid. And together we say, Amen. And we continue now with our prayer for healing, for those in need of healing, and for all of those who are ill or isolated or unwell or injured, whether in our immediate family and circle of friends, in our congregational family, or even far and wide. They're all with us, whether they are moving forward, trying to stand up to a course of treatment and have gains, or making do in such difficult circumstances. And especially those who are forcibly isolated by Hamas, the captives, the hostages. We are with you and your families and will remain there. For each of them, for all of them, for the names given to me and given to Temple, for the names placed in the chat and this and other services, we join in these words of refuah. מי שברך אבותינו אברהם יצחק ויעקב ואמותינו שרה רבקה לאה ורחל, הוא ירפא את כל מכותינו. יהי רצון מלפניך אדוני אלוהינו להחרימם ולרפאותם, וישלח לנו מהרה רפואה שלמה ועטרת שלום, ונאמר אמן. May the one who blessed our ancestors bless and heal all who suffer. May it be the divine will to provide healing and strength. Reveal to us the holiness of life, the wholeness of shalom, and let us say together, Amen. It's extremely meaningful to have the opportunity to be together and to connect and reflect, and equally so to remember. Recalling those who died in recent days and weeks, those who died at this season in years past, and those whom we have taken into our hearts with our own. During the period of Shloshim, we extend our condolences to the families of Bruce Altshuler, Joan Mishkind Skegan, Barbara Levy, Heather McDermott, Mel Kerner. And it is our sad duty to join the larger community in recognizing and acknowledging the sadness at the death of Cantor Benny Meisner of Holy Blossom Temple. His funeral will be there at 10:30 a.m. this morning. We also remember all victims of terror and war, including terror victims Yonatan Samirano, Yvette Shmilovich, Yaakov Bello, Shalev Zvuluni, Shada Katib, Olena Peshkarova, Ofra Kedar, Noah Boguslavsky, Naomi Shanan, Michal Zaks, Michal Nachum, Meir Vaknin, Maria Peshkarova, Manal Diab Katib, Manal Al-Qasim Abu Al-Hija Katib, Konstantin Totvich, Ilya Peshkarov, Hala Katib, Etan Zaks, Efrat Saranga, Desi Bello, Desi Yitzhaki, Bella Ashkenazi, Aviva Tzili, Nastia Borik. And we remember all those IDF soldiers whose lives have been sacrificed and lost in these past 30 days. Alon Davidov, Nave Leshem, Niv Radia, Ronald Ben Moshe, Ronan Shapiro, Shachar Manoav, Shai Levinson, Shoam Menachem, Stav Halfon, Ray Beran, Talmov Shovitz, Mayan Baruch Perlstein, Shlomo Yakir Shrem, Yaniv Michalovich, Yisrael Natan Rosenfeld, Yuli Facto, Benjamin Asulin, Matan Shai Yashinovsky, Avram Azulai. And on Yahrzeit, on the anniversary of their deaths, on this 25th day of the month of Tammuz, the 21st of July, 2025, we honor the life and legacy on Yahrzeit of Annette Berman, John Black, Robert Bob Dicker, Faye Lean and Guy, Al Littman, Ralph Lubin, Manis Purim, Albert Scharf. Zichronam Levracha, may their memories be a blessing to us. Our griefs and our sympathies are mingled as we turn together to words sanctified by memory, words glorified by hope. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemer rabba, be'alma devra chevuteh v'yamlich malchuteh, b'chayechon v'yomechon, v'chaye dechol beit Yisrael, ba'agala u'bizman kari v'mu, amen. Yehe shmer rabba mevarach le'alam u'lalmei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitrumam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitalal shemei dekudsha b'richu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbachata v'nechemata, damiran be'alma v'mu, amen. Yehe shloma rabba min shmaya v'chayim, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'mu, amen. Oseh shalom b'momav, hu yaseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'mu, amen. May the source of peace send peace to all who mourn and bring comfort and strength to all who remember. And together we say, amen. Well, Boker Tov, Boker Ol. I hope you have a really beautiful and meaningful day. I look forward to seeing you here on Boker Tov tomorrow. Boker Ol, Boker Tov. Make it a good one.